Hey everybody, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and MPD by somebody that has both. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and do all the socially things scrolling past you on the screen right now. Follow me on Twitter at Barking, on Instagram early morning barking, and I've got a TikTok now as well. Yeah, it's all the YouTube shorts though. You've probably seen those, haven't you? Haven't you been watching them? Go and look at them now. Yeah. Anyway, today I want to talk about feeling overwhelmed. It can happen at any given moment, right? And this can come in so many forms. It's just a state of too much to deal with. And I think that in the world at the moment, a lot of us have quite frankly got too much to deal with. And when that happens, it's easy to deal with nothing, right? This is generally how I deal with it, right? If I've got too much to do, too much to think about, too much taking brain space that's worrying me, I do none of it. And I sit and fester in it and worry and let things get worse and worse and worse. And I have so many examples from my life of times where I've ignored stuff and it's just gotten so much worse, right? I mean, let's start off with the speeding fine letter that came that could have been a £35 fine and 3 points for speeding. But then when you don't reply to the letter for long enough and it goes to court and you get done for failing to identify yourself to police, and they put 9 points on your license and charge you £850 fine. That was a good one. And there's other fun things like that I've had in my life. And your car insurance goes up after that as well. Yeah, it's a good one. So that was a thing, and that was because I ignored stuff, right? I didn't want to deal with the thing, so I put my head in the sand and I ignored it. And now I'm going to sit here and be a massive hypocrite, right? Because the rest of what I say from here on, am I doing it? Now, this is one of those times where I give you advice and tell you what to do, and I don't sit here and do it. Sorry, I'm just going to put that out there ahead of time. Feeling overwhelmed, it's difficult. So we have this pile of stuff, and I think that there are a couple of stages to dealing with it all, whatever it is. The first one is to calm the hell down, right? I mean, with this kind of thing, I get into all kinds of panics, and you contemplate all kinds of drastic solutions. And when you start doing that, you can get into all kinds of depressive states and feeling down, and that's not going to help you deal with this pile of stuff you've got to deal with. So you need to calm down. You need to center and ground and do all those things that you do to help you settle. You need to hit that sort of Zen calm space to be able to deal with stuff, right? You need to be able to focus. You need to be able to deal with stuff calmly. Because remember, of this pile, some things have solutions, right? We can deal with stuff. We can sort it out somehow. Which takes us on to the next step of sorting through stuff. And this is where you require a few other skills. You've got to have hit that calm point to start with, so you can start doing this. And then we're going to look at all the different problems and figure out, what can we do something about? What do we have to just accept as a thing? What can we make strides on? What can we do? What's going to take a phone call to fix? What's going to take sending a letter or opening a letter or something like that? And what is more complicated? To separate these things out, to make a list, to actually look at it and organize it. Because then you can start working your way through it. Then we have a list of things. I reach a point where the panic has set in, and I just know there are lots of things I need to think about. Like lots of things. This unknown quantity, this unspecified amount of lots that is just too much. And I can maybe say, oh, there are too many things to think about. And that's not true, because they're all happening. Somebody's thinking about them, right? We've got to make them seem less frightening. And when we take them out of this ethereal headspace and make them real and start sorting through them and start dealing with them, then they become less frightening. They become less scary. They're something we can actually deal with. One at a time, task at a time. Start chipping away. And start with something easy. Look, at the moment, the things that are overwhelming me are a mix of stuff, right? There's stuff that can be sorted with a phone call. And I know that, right? I just need to make that phone call. Then there's other stuff, which is something difficult to deal with, but it's happening. And I can't do anything about the fact that this thing is happening. It's just happening. And it's part of life, and we have to go through things and hold up as best we can. But me fretting, me ignoring this thing, me hiding my head in the sand over it, it's not going to help. Not going to make it go away. It's not going to make it any easier to deal with. And if I ignore it, I might feel worse in the long run. So that goes on a different pile. That becomes like background noise. And I start making the phone calls. In theory, right? Again, massive hypocrite, must remind you. Once we start breaking these down, we start chipping away, we start taking away the smaller things, then we have more bandwidth left, right? Maybe things aren't so overwhelming because I just have this thing to deal with. And maybe that's a big thing, but now I don't have all these other things shouting at me, right? I imagine it's like being a parent and you're trying to deal with something, but you've got kids shouting you from another room, and that's what this array of problems feels like. It's like, I need to pay attention to this, but then these other things are shouting at me, and quite frankly, it just makes me feel like going out for cigarettes and never coming back. But that's not an option. I need to deal with all these things. So I start with the small ones and work my way up. And that's when I've separated them already into what can I deal with and what can't I deal with. Like, as in, what can I make go away right now and what has to stick around for a bit? What do I have to just radically accept? And some things that you might have to radically accept are hard and difficult. We're all facing rise of living costs unlike anything in my lifetime. You know, I got the letter this morning that my rent's going up. There's a fun thing that I needed, right? But I can't do anything about that. I can get angry and upset, but it's not gonna help. It's not gonna move me anywhere. It's not gonna make any progress on this problem. I just need to accept it. And then there's other things, like I say, the phone calls, the letters to send, the forms to fill out, that kind of thing. That just needs doing. And I'm procrastinating. I'm doing anything but. I'm making a video about how I should do things. And we'll all find these little things, but that little brainworm of do these things, you've got fears, panics, you're hiding your head in the sand, it's not going to go away until we do things. So I hope that helps. I don't know whether that applies to BPD or MPD, both, or just one, or whatever. Feels like much more of a BPD thing. You decide yourself. Anyway, I'll see you on Patreon and the other places like Twitter and TikTok and all of that. I told you at the beginning, you should be listening by now. Honestly, pay attention. Right, I'll see you another time. You take care. See you later. Bye.